Hello, class. Welcome back. We're on our second unit, strategic planning. Again, this is going to be a lengthy video, so if you need to watch it, stop it, however you want to watch the videos, it's up to you. If you have any questions afterwards, please feel free to email me or contact me on Pronto. So let's get to it. The value proposition. This is a 30-second elevator speech stating the specific benefits a product or service offering provides a buyer. It shows why the good is superior to competing goods, and the value proposition answers the questions, why should I buy from you, and why should I hire you? So usually in my in-person courses, I used to ask the students to create this elevator speech. I used to ask them, I want you to create a 3 minutes, 30 second, 30-second elevator speech stating why this company should hire you. And I think it would be great if you could write that down right now. And then if you want to share it maybe in the announcements, or if you want to share it in a discussion board post, or potential maybe in a Pronto message, email message, I will give you 2 points extra credit for that. So 2 points extra credit for creating a 30-second elevator speech on why a company, any company, you can think of any company, should hire you. That's going to be fun. So the value proposition, this is where firms identify their target markets, groups of customers when they are developing their value proposition. So target markets, this means the individuals that you're trying to get to purchase or use your product or service. The value proposition tells each group why they should buy a product or service. Once the benefits are clear, firms must develop strategies that support the value proposition. The value proposition serves as a guide for this process. The individuals and students should also develop their own personal value propositions, and that's what you're going to do, is write down a 30-second elevator speech, value proposition, and then you can either send it to me in email, type it up on Pronto, or you can put it in the announcements. As long as you're putting it in there, then you can receive 2 points extra credit. Yay! Strategic planning. What is it? This is the process that helps an organization allocate its resources to capitalize on opportunities in the marketplace. It's a long-term process. This process you don't just start it today and then tomorrow it's done. It continues. You could have a strategic plan done by the end of let's say you have a deadline of the end of the month, and then something new happens out in the environment. You have to adjust and customize your strategic plan every time something in your target market changes. So the strategic planning process includes conducting a situation analysis, developing the organization's mission statement, objectives, value proposition, and strategies. This is the inputs to the planning processes. You need to evaluate the external environment and the internal environment. So external includes the economy, your competition, political, legal environment, etc. Even your community. If you're a small business in your community, you need to make sure that you're checking, oh, what's going on in my community right now? How will this affect my business? Evaluate your internal environment. This is your financial and human resources. Do you have the technological capabilities to function? Um, how are you doing with inventory? Everything internal, whatever is happening in your business, you need to include this in the planning process. Then you think of your company's mission, the objectives that your company is trying to accomplish, and then, of course, your value proposition and the strategy formulation. When you're conducting a situation analysis, you do this before a company can decide on specific actions. It involves analyzing, like we said, external, and they provide the example of COVID-19 pandemic issues, which is like supply chain. If they would have had all of those um, analyzed, we didn't think that there was going to be a pandemic at that time. But for those businesses that were able to adjust and customize their product and service offerings to that situation and reduce the time it took to correct any errors that were made, then those were the successful companies. The companies that didn't fare too well were those that could not evolve with the changing situation. The internal company environments, of course, we already went over that. So when you're looking back to the external situations, you need to look at macro and micro factors, macroeconomics, microeconomics. You need to think about what's affecting the world at the time, and also micro involves your community, your state, your county, just the immediate vicinity. Those are macro. What are the people in your community? What are their living wages, like the average? And you do this by recording or researching um, Census Bureau statistics. You need to do, like, marketing doesn't only involve looking and creating a video, looking on the internet or stuff like that. It includes a lot of research. If you want to be a successful company and to move forward and continue to evolve with the changing situations that the world is going to have in the future, you have to make sure to research everything and anything that could happen. A way that that companies analyze these internal and external issues is by conducting a SWOT analysis. And you're going to get to create one of these and then present it in your final presentation. So the first part is organization conducting a SWOT analysis by analyzing, SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So your strengths and weaknesses are any of the internal factors that affect your company. These are somewhat controllable. Remember, underline that word somewhat. If you have a strength, like your company is killing it in profits, but your weakness is that a competitor that's doing the same thing that you are doing is moving into your environment. You cannot control that they're moving into your environment unless you have the power to sign petitions, or you don't want to, maybe you own the land that they're going to come in on. But if they're coming into the industry and they're doing exactly the same things that you are doing, your competitors can become your weakness. And the best thing for you to do is create a way to individualize your product and service and make it customized to your target market. Opportunities and threats, those are your external factors, and these are largely uncontrollable. This would be the example of your competitor coming into your direct vicinity where your company is making great profits. Unfortunately, so we cannot like say, hey, you can't do business here unless it's illegal or offensive to the community. Then there are steps to take. But if they're doing the same thing that you're doing, but they come into your direct environment or community, you have to find a way to make your product stand out beyond them. So this is just a description of what each of those components of the SWOT analysis, what they mean. You've got your internal factors, which are strengths and weaknesses. Your strengths are your brand name and the resources that you have. Resources include your human resources, which are your employees, your financial resources, the land that your company may sit on, the property, any equipment, anything that you utilize to produce your product or provide your service. Weaknesses include low product awareness, poor facility location. That's some examples. So, of course, you don't want to be selling surfboards in Alaska, or you don't want to be selling big, huge fur coats out there in Venice Beach, something like that. External factors include your opportunities and threats. Opportunities, for example, can be the demand for the product and the size of the market. If you're a company that serves a niche or niche market, then you have a competitive edge. That's your opportunity. If you're providing a product or service that is individualized exactly to a certain population, then you have an opportunity there. If the demand for your product is increased, another opportunity. Threats include bad economy and competitors, like we were saying. Unfortunately, our economy is experiencing somewhat of a shakeup, and it's causing people to rethink how they're going to do business. A lot of people are uh, eliminating their physical businesses, physical locations, and moving towards an online presence, because now most of us are moving to shopping online that rather than going into the physical locations. There is one thing you need to keep in mind, is that not everybody is wanting to shop online. There are those of us that want to go out and physically see and touch the product or service that a company is providing. So if your loyal customers are people who would visit your physical locations more than go onto your website, make sure that you're seeing that and you're putting it to practice. Assessing the internal environment. Companies can use their strengths to capitalize on opportunities and develop their competitive advantage. Companies must refer to their mission statement and objectives, as well as external factors such as social trends and competitors, to better understand consumers, develop their future actions, and improve the odds they will be successful. Managers need to examine both the past and current strategies to determine what strategies succeeded and which ones failed. Fruitly, not sure how well that did. I don't think it did as well as Pepsi may have wanted it to. We'll check it right now. But there are other companies such as there are other companies such as Coca-Cola who have put out different beverages, and because not a lot of us out there like to drink soda anymore, and there are a lot of health factors considering when you consider to drink soda. Some of us really like soda. So companies like Pepsi and Coca-Cola, which their foundation of their company was sodas, they had to reinvent their beverages and think of ways to continue to keep their consumers and maybe grow into another part of the industry. So Pepsi brought out Fruitly. You see Coca-Cola, and as they are growing, they have waters, they have energy drinks, they have flavored waters. Um, that's the nature of the business. When you're marketing, you have to research, oh, what's happening. If you cannot evolve with the changes and your marketing team is not on top of it, you could be losing a lot of money. So make sure when you go into marketing, you're assessing what is popular among, what is the trend, what is more profitable in this environment that I'm in. These are some of the things you want to include in your SWOT analysis on your final presentation. Your strengths are financial, market position, patents, management, and costs. Your weaknesses are competitive position, organization, structure, supplier dependency, product line, and brand awareness. Assessing the external environment. When you're assessing the external environment, you need to track what's going on in the macro and micro marketplace. Macro environment includes economic factors, which is how are the interest rates? If you're selling cars, people want to finance from your dealership. They need to know that, oh, does this dealership have good interest rates? Um, Economic factors include, can you afford the mortgage or rent for a physical location? Those are all economic factors. Demographic trends. Who are the people that are in your community? Do you serve the younger crowd? Do you serve the middle-aged crowd? Do you serve families? Do you serve single people? If you're in the city, are these people that are professionals? If you're in a rural place, are they farmers? Are they like small business owners? Demographic means who are you serving in the location where you're at. Cultural and social trends. All of you have seen that we are going through many cultural and social trends, many cultural and social changes, and numerous cultural and social challenges. Know what those are and see if those will affect how your business sells or produces the product or service that you're um, providing the public. Research this information. Political and legal regulations. Unfortunately, tax rates here in California are incredible. So small businesses are struggling every day to stay open. Bigger businesses are like, forget you, I'm going to move to another state and have less tax. Example, Elon Musk and his headquarters. Technological changes every day. Every single day, you're getting new information. The biggest technological change and evolution that is happening right now is artificial intelligence, AI. So if you're able to evolve with all these changes, you're doing good. And you're researching your macro environment well. The price and availability of natural resources. This is one thing that you do need to, if you are selling something that uses excess natural resources, nowadays companies are thinking how they can go green or how they can reduce their carbon footprint because it does show on your company profile. The macro environment includes competition, suppliers, marketing intermediaries, which are retailers and wholesalers, the public, the company, and customers. So those are very straightforward. I don't have to explain anything except maybe marketing intermediaries. Just think of them as the middleman. If Walmart is selling toothbrushes from Johnson and Johnson, the distribution center that holds those Johnson and Johnson products or manufactures them is the middleman, the wholesaler, and then they'll sell it to Walmart to at a certain price, and then Walmart will consider how they're going to sell it to make a profit. These are the external parts of your SWOT analysis. You've got the opportunities, global markets, enabling technologies, growing consumer wealth, currency exchange rates, and government spending. Then we have the threats, economic contraction, government regulations, social and political changes, trade barriers, taxes, and mandated expenses. The competitive environment. Both nonprofit and for-profit organizations compete for customers' resources. Just because a nonprofit doesn't function on profits that they make, they do receive grants from the government, the state, local governments, or federal governments. So if they're not completing their requirements under the grants that they receive, then another nonprofit organization that maybe is doing the same thing will receive those grants instead of the one that is not complying. So that's a way they compete. For-profit organizations, you already know they work for profit, so they're competing for the customers really on a much more competitive level. An industry is a group of competitors that provide similar products. Michael Porter developed an approach for analyzing industries called the Five Forces model, which is right here. Competitive analysis. I'm sure all of you are like, what are these super dinosaur things that are on my monitor? Just for your information, the one on your left, if you're facing the monitor, is a typewriter, and the other one on your right is a computer back in the day. So competitive analysis is when a firm focuses on direct competitors and tries to determine their strengths and weaknesses, image, and resources. So not only do you have to research what you're doing, your SWOT analysis, you have to figure out the SWOT analysis of your competitors to see how well your analysis compares to your competitors. Competitive analysis involves looking at any information available on competitors. You can find this information publicly on websites such as the sec.gov website. That is a website where you can figure out what companies are making, what their mission statement, their business plan. You can go onto that website and look at all that. Another means of collecting competitive information utilizes mystery shoppers. According to Porter, organizations must consider the strength and impact the following could have: substitute products, potential entrants in the marketplace, the bargaining power of suppliers, and the bargaining power of buyers. So think of substitute products like you have your Jiffy peanut butter. You have Jiffy peanut butter, but then you have your Kroger peanut butter, which is the Kroger brand of peanut butter. Always the substitute products are a little cheaper, slightly cheaper than the name brand, which will say Jiffy. And most customers, if it tastes the same to them, they'll buy the cheaper brand. Of course, everybody wants something that saves them money. Potential entrants in the marketplace, you have to be aware of that. Not scared of it. There is never going to be a time when somebody's not going to enter the same industry that you decide to enter. There's always going to be somebody that thinks they have a better idea or believes that they can be a competitor to those who are already in the industry. And of course, straightforward bargaining power of suppliers, bargaining power of buyers. The political and legal environment. All organizations must comply with government regulations and understand the political and legal environments in which they do business. Different government agencies enforce regulations that have been established to protect both consumers and businesses. For example, the Sherman Act of 1890 prohibits U.S. firms from restraining trade by creating monopolies and cartels. The Federal Trade Commission regulates deceptive advertising, and the Food and Drug Administration regulates labeling of consumable products such as food and medicine. So this is just an example of some of the regulatory organizations that keep an eye on businesses. Let's say you have a business, they're the ones that they're going to say, oh, let me see. Why did this person advertise that their product is doing this, but it's not? Then you'll have the FTC to talk to. If you're creating any type of vitamin or medication, you have the FDA to talk to. Make sure that your labeling and your medication or vitamin goes through their studies. And you can find that on the back of any product that you purchase if it's FDA approved. The economic environment. Economic factors include variables such as inflation, we are going through that right now, unemployment, interest rates, whether the economy is in a growth period or a recession. Inflation occurs when the cost of living continues to rise and erodes the purchasing power of money. We are currently going through that. During a recession, it is possible for both high-end and low-end products to sell well. The demographic, social, and cultural environments. These include social trends such as people's attitudes toward fitness and nutrition, demographic characteristics such as people's age, income, marital status, education, and occupation, culture, which relates to people's beliefs and values. Technology, straightforward, changes the way people communicate and the way companies do business. It's increasingly used online ads and mobile marketing. Like I said, a lot of us don't watch TV anymore. We don't read newspapers or magazines. What are those? Now it's all about your phone, your tablet, your laptop. Organizations must adapt to new technologies to succeed. And that is so true. It couldn't be more true right now. Natural resources. They're scarce commodities. Consumers are becoming increasingly aware of this fact. Green marketing involves environmentally safe products and services. The marketing is done in a way that is good for the environment. Green marketing not only helps the environment but also saves the company money. So instead of posting a paper billboard that has taken down a bunch of trees, they're going to maybe move to pushing it out on mass advertisements on your social media. The mission statement. The firm's mission statement states the purpose of the organization and why it exists. Both profit and non-profit organizations have mission statements. So the reason why this is included in this presentation is because in order to create your marketing plan, you have to know what the mission of your company is. Your marketing plan has to align with that. Developing objectives. Objectives are what organizations want to accomplish in a given time frame. They should be realistic and measurable. They guide and motivate a company's employees and give its managers reference points for evaluating marketing actions. And they should be consistent with the company's objectives at other levels, such as corporate and business. When you're formulating strategies, these are what a firm is going to do to achieve its objectives. So if the objective is to increase profits, what are you going to do to increase those profits? Tactics include specific action taken to execute the strategy, such as, well, I want to increase profits by uh, giving coupons or showing my ads on commercials or banner ads on the web. Firms often use multiple strategies to accomplish their objectives and capitalize on marketing opportunities. And a marketing plan is a strategic plan at the functional level that provides a firm's marketing group with direction. These are the components of your marketing plan, what you need to know in the marketing plan. And one thing that the marketing plan also does is provide investors with information on what you're planning to put out there and what is backing these products that you're providing for the public. And are they going to be successful? Is it even feasible what you're deciding to create? Product and marketing entry strategies. These are some of the ways that product can come into the market. Market penetration is by just flooding the market with your product. Product development, maybe you're developing a product. Market development, new markets, maybe you want to put out your product to different people. Maybe you are selling to younger generation people. Now you want to attract your more adult, mature generations. So then you go ahead and try to move into that market. Diversification. Maybe you used to be, for example, Coca-Cola, only a soda manufacturer. Now you want to sell waters. Then you want to sell fruit drinks, things like that. Strategic choices. There are different types of product and market entry strategies that a firm can pursue in order to meet objectives. Other choices include exporting, licensing, franchising, contract manufacturing, joint ventures, direct investment, or diversification strategies. So right here you see Kentucky Fried Chicken. They are a franchise and they can be pretty much seen all over the world. And in order to be a global franchise, you need to be able to accommodate those communities or countries that you move your franchise into. For instance, McDonald's won't be serving the same menu that they serve in, let's say, India or Japan. So when you're franchising with a company, you may be having the same name as a KFC here in the United States, but maybe your menu is altered to the wants and needs of your consumers there in the location that you have moved to. Types of product and market entry strategies, market penetration, which is increasing a firm's sales of its existing products to its existing customers. Product development strategies, creating new products for existing customers. Market development strategies, entering new markets with existing products. Firms can simply export or sell their products to buyers abroad. This is a less risky and a least expensive method, also offers the least amount of control. Firms can also license some aspect of their production processes, trademarks, or patents to individuals or firms in foreign markets. Franchising is a longer term and thus riskier form of licensing. Types of product and market entry strategies continued. Contract manufacturing allows companies to hire manufacturers to produce their products in another country. For instance, some of your high-end clothing manufacturers, they have warehouses in different countries because when they put their when they manufacture the products, let's say overseas, they can manufacture it at a lower cost than if they were to have a warehouse here in the United States. Joint ventures combine the expertise and investments of two companies and help companies enter foreign markets. We've seen a lot of joint ventures. You can get 2 points extra credit if you provide me with the name of joint ventures that you've seen. Direct investment provides the most control but also has the most risk. So this is just a graphic of which types of market entries are more low risk and low investment and low control compared to those that are more high risk, high investment, and high control. All right. Diversification strategies will go back to Coca-Cola. These are all their diverse products. As you can see here, it's not just sodas anymore. They've got a lot of different beverages. This involves entering new markets with new products, doing something outside a firm's current businesses. Diversification can be profitable, but it can also be risky if a company does not have the expertise or resources it needs. Another example of diversification is Johnson and Johnson. They are like personal hygiene products or personal care products, but they're different types of products in a personal care. You have medications, lotions, mouthwash, all kinds of stuff. Strategic planning, strategic business unit, also called SBU. Corporate level plans are developed by top executives for the corporation as a whole. SBU is a business or product line within an organization that has its own competitors, customers, and profit center. Firms' SBUs may also have their own mission statement. Business level plans are developed by SBUs for themselves. The different departments, accounting, finance, marketing, and so forth within a company or SBU might also develop strategic plans. These are the strategic planning levels of an organization. You've got the corporate level, you have your CEOs, CFOs, COOs, all the C's. Chief Financial Officer, Chief Operations Officer, Chief Executive Officer. Those are all at the corporate level. Then you have your business level, which is your different level of managements in the departments. Functional level are your individual departments, even frontline. Strategic planning continued. The strategies and actions implemented at the functional level must help an organization achieve its objectives at both the business and corporate levels. The SBs at the business level must also help an organization achieve its corporate level objectives. Organizations can utilize multiple methods and strategies at different levels to accomplish their various goals. Similarly, individuals may use different strategies to accomplish their goals. Portfolio planning approach. Analyzing a firm's entire collection of businesses relative to one another. Two of the most widely used portfolio planning approaches include the Boston Consulting Group, BCG Matrix, General Electric GE approach. Two popular methods. So in the Boston Consulting Group Matrix, this helps companies evaluate each of its strategic business units based on two factors: the SBU's market growth rate and the SBU's relative market share. Because the BCG matrix assumes that profitability and market share are highly related, it is a useful approach for making business and investment decisions. So this is like if you have a different type of product that you're providing, but you usually provide, let's go back to Coca-Cola, but you want to move into a different like a different part of the product industry, then that would be your SBU. So looking at this graphic, it'll show you which one has a higher market growth, which one has a low market growth, which one has a low market share, and which one has a high market share. So you are looking as a business, you're always looking to have high market growth and high market share. So by thinking of that, you would want to have all stars in your company, whether you have a diverse product line. For instance, like Johnson and Johnson, they have medications, they have lotions, they have mouthwash, shampoos, baby products. You want to make sure that all of those products are in the star category, which is right here. You can do good with this if you want to just start. If you're starting out with a new product, you may start out here or here. But if you get high market growth, it could eventually move over here into your stars. So you've got your question marks, which are low market share and high market growth. Dogs, which are low market share and low market growth. You've got your stars that are high market share and high market growth. We always hope that our product lines go here. Then we have our cash cows that are high market share but low market growth. So these two are like, okay, they could easily move over to a star, cash cow, or question marks. But dogs, it'll take you longer to move over here. You might move over here first, move up here first, but yeah. The General Electric approach examines the business strengths and the attractiveness of the industry in which it competes. Companies evaluate their strengths and the attractiveness of industries as high, medium, and low. Companies with a medium rating on industry attractiveness and business strength should be cautious when investing and attempt to hold the market share they have. So red, harvest or divest products, stop investing in new products, markets, or technology. Yellow, hold market share. Green, build market share, invest in new products, market, or technology. So pretty much the stoplight. If it's not good, if it's not making any money, get rid of the product. Like discontinue that product. And there are a lot of products in business that have had to do that. Lots of cars have been discontinued because they just weren't selling well. The candy industry, there's been many products that have come out and they're great when they come out at first, but then they die down. So yeah. The General Electric approach evaluate SBUs on the following factors: market share, growth of the SBU, size of the opportunity, potential for profit, environmental factors, competitive conditions. So again, if it's not doing well, get rid of it. If it's making money at an average rate, it's okay, and it's not costing us that much. We're not losing profit. Okay, we can stay yellow. Green, if it's doing great, we're making profit. We're also selling a lot. We're creating more so that we can reproduce what we already sold. Then invest in the growth. Okay, we've finally gotten to the last part of this presentation. If you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to contact me pronto, email, if you want to make a comment in the announcements if they allow you to. And other than that, I'm sorry this was like almost 45 minutes, pretty much 45 minutes. I hope you broke it down into sections. You can utilize this for your final project information or even for quizzes and exams and assignments. If you have any questions, remember, reach out. All right. Have a good evening.